Come sit right here, tell me everything. Start from the beginning. Let it all pour out. I will catch your story in my wings. This is the beginning of all that we cry out for. You seeing me, seeing you. We are found.
Welcome to Tea Time, a cup of loving kindness. I'm Huggy Smiles Kindness, a loving kindness fairy, and your host to the show. I have a wonderful guest today, and her name is Abby Bayquen, and she's a rock star, and she's going to guide us through an exercise of writing your own autobiography as a way to help own that story of yours, to step into the love, the divine love that is in this universe that perpetuates through us all when we allow it to. And I'm excited for her to be here. Thank you, Abby, so much for being here. I love you so much. Here is episode 3, a 2-part series, Owning Your Story, A Pathway to Loving Kindness. As always, thank you, Shannon Curtis, singer-songwriter, for your beautiful song, I Know, as the theme song for Tea Time, a cup of loving kindness. It's wonderful to have your loving support, and we just honor your artistic expression every time it gets played here at Tea Time. With love and light, Maddie. Enjoy.
Catch us from behind. Let's turn and face them. Switch on the light. Never mind the cracks you try and hide. I wanna see them. They would make you shine. The glow from within scatters light through the night.
We are recording. We did it. Yeah, so I'm not like really dressed up. This isn't going to be on video for me.
I'm just for a wedding that I'm not going to tear. But what is it that well, I am now that we're being recorded, it's like filter because
Oh,
I
right,
don't want
yeah.
to be in a negative space about my past. But that was really one thing that I wanted to even discuss was owning your story. Yeah, it's tough. And I love the episode that you talked about. It's just like it inspired me to lean towards owning your story. And I mean, we all have some deep, dark things that could have or have happened. But for me, it's like I use that to empower me. I use that to be like, no, I didn't come fresh out of the oven. Like I have some cuts, I have some designs that have happened. And that came out of nowhere.
Oh, that's
But
kind of beautiful. Like, I love that analogy because I think too often our society is like, like I've heard it a lot, like with parents and like children when like a child starts crying, like, oh, don't cry, and it kind of like shuts off any of that. It makes it almost like the pain and the suffering that comes with being human is wrong and that we have to push it away. And Pink sings about that in her song called Great Escape. For her, what it means is that she wants to feel those dark things, those things that are just a part of the natural like human experience. But too often as a society, we're trying to numb them, push them away. And I think the beauty of loving kindness is that we have this opportunity as a community to walk each other through the fire. We don't have to, shame each other anymore to escape it. It's more about how can we reach out a hand to help one another up when we fall.
love that so much. I do. That's beautiful. I'm trying to remember where else I felt like the universe was telling me the same message. Like, does that ever happen to you where you hear something that resonates with you and then all of a sudden in some other method, like you're reading or you're hearing something or a person, it just like kind of aligns? I call those like my lessons of the week or something. Like it's like sometimes it takes me a week. It depends on how fast I learn the lesson. And yeah, I'm a Christian, and that message was like for us to be Christ to other people. And it's just like it's been hitting me even through your message. Like I know that may be worded differently, but it's just like I'm waiting for my third message to come through. Yours was one. I completely forget how it was coming to me through another way, but sometimes those people need our physical hand to help them up, and not just be like, oh, they'll get help, you know. And there's even a really fun scripture that says like visiting people in jail, giving people food, water to a child. That's them seeing Christ in us. It's always what ends up resonating in me. And I thank you so much for loving me and being my friend through all these years, despite how much of a crazy, I call myself a crazy Christian. I know that I am, but it's just changed my life so much. And you listened, and even when you came through to just visit my church with me, it was just amazing that you took it in. You know what I mean? You didn't like go like, oh, you know what I mean? Like the things I would close myself off to. I just admire you, and I'm so inspired by you, and I want you to like just keep going no matter how many times you think it's like pushing you side to side.
Start
Just
from the
keep
Thank you.
going.
beginning. Let it all pour out. I will catch your story in my wings. This is the beginning of all that we cry out for. You seeing me, seeing you. We are found. I know you live all alone in
Maybe like in terms of like this owning your own story, I'll come up with a couple questions, and then maybe you come up with questions that like resonate with you of what you would want me to ask you about that, and then we could bring them together. We can kind of chat about it a little bit right before, just kind of get on a similar page, and then we can just dive in. And if we need to record, like do it a few times. Sometimes
Great,
I
me
like to
too.
just jump in and do it. Sometimes it feels like overwhelming, like, oh my God, I got to do it a third time, but like I like going through that because for some reason, the third
No,
time or the fourth time, it always lands more organically. Yeah. It's like you've
so
shaken it out a little bit or something.
yeah, I trust me, I understand because I recorded a really random rap song for myself. Like so random, like, but I understand the doing the multiple takes and how it can feel like, but it gets better every time sometimes until it doesn't. And then
Yeah,
that's when you
right.
know. Like
Yeah. Like,
so uh until it's just like no,
yeah,
no
we're done.
more. Yeah,
Brain is fried.
I gotta send you my rap song.
Ooh, I would love to.
It was
Yeah,
just so random of me, but it was so fun.
that's
And
cool.
I was like, I want a neck tattoo. I want to just like I started just forming into this person that's just like, but can I? Like but yeah, so
In
I
this self-growth course I did, we had to do this activity. Oh my
oh
God. You would think like, you would have thought like the other exercises would have been like really hard for me, but for some reason that one was the hardest out of all of them. And you
why
had to like get completely like just total acceptance of all your nerdy things that you're scared
my
of anyone ever
quirkiness.
knowing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And then you had to like act it out. And I could not
oh,
get out of
that's
my head.
fun.
I think everyone else probably got done with theirs in 15 minutes. And I made all of us like, I think mine was taking like 2 hours or something. I just couldn't do it. I was too
What would
scared.
the exercise entail?
It was basically kind of like a rap. And you
Oh,
had
and
to like
about
call
yourself.
yourself
And
out on, yeah, on
what's
all of it.
crazy is that that was the premise of my rap, dissing myself
That's so
before
cool.
someone else does.
Yeah.
Because it's like if they try to diss me, it's like, oh, I've been there, I already did that. It's just so that if anyone would try to diss me for certain things, like being from a town that's like not hardcore basically, or for me sleeping all the time, like
Yeah.
I diss myself, like in a fun way where it's not self-diminishing or self-deprecating. It's more like a fun little track, and I do I do make it positive in some ways too, but yeah, I just want me to play it now.
Yeah, because where my brain's going is like, what if this was a part of your owning your story?
That's
Like
true.
what if some of, like, if you felt comfortable, what if this played a little bit during your
Oh
portion of
man,
sharing?
I gotta find it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But if it were just me and you, I would share it. So that's why I'm pushing myself to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. I definitely replayed it over and over and over one time because I just was so into my own song. Okay, here we go. Oh boy.
Oh, good song.
No matter where you're from, just know that the future lies in your heart inside your mind. You've heard it a million times, so keep thinking that you'll make it, and I promise you will. Just keep on moving on forward, and let this track keep the thrill.
You've never heard of me, but my name is Abigail. The only time I hit the floor is for my yoga stills. I'm 30 plus years old and Filipino baby. The only time I cry is when I'm cutting onions, maybe. I live in mental health, but no need for sympathy. I know I am bionic, for the titanium in my knee. DJ King is where I'm from, and I'll rep it till I die. I love my Saseboyans and Yoko Locos. I'm as hard as they come, only when it comes to sleep. And yes, I do go hard for Amazon and Codesby. No, when it comes to money, no, it ain't a master of me. Jesus is my homeboy and he lives inside of me. I don't need possession in order for me to spit it. I go with it and I use the Father's help to keep me in. It makes a difference. And if you can't respect the hustle, kick it elsewhere. In the meantime, I'll be praying for you, dear. No need no notes, no need for fancy quotes. The sections or intentions are practiced to emote. I'm in all natural, no baby or control. But when that curfew hits, I gotta go home, bro.
No matter
I love
where you're
that.
from,
And it
just know
just
that the future
keeps going,
lies
and I
in your heart and
same thing.
inside your mind. You've heard it.
Are you singing on that more lyrical
Yes.
piece? Okay. Oh my god. Well,
Well,
I don't think you want to hear what I would.
did I turn you straight again?
No,
I remember I
totally.
remember you
Oh my
said
god.
that one time, and that was like literally my biggest life achievement.
Oh my
One
god.
of them. One of them.
That's
I
awesome.
I literally tweeted one time. I was like, one of my accomplishments is that I made a gay man straight for a second.
That's
Yep,
so
I
cool.
still
Yep.
remember when you did it. Do you remember?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I've said it. I'm trying to think like when I said it.
There was just a lot of commotion going on, and I stormed out of the room to like deal with it, and nip it in the bud because everyone
But
was standing and watching one of our roommates get yelled at by her drunk boyfriend.
oh no. Okay.
Yeah, and I literally was like, I came out maybe twice saying you better stop or I'll call the cops. And then the third time I like stormed in there and pulled her out. And it was just like a fierce time for me. So yeah, like, yeah. And you said you really just made me straight for a second. When you came out of that door and I saw it in your eyes that you were not having it. Like,
So this was at that Verge place.
yes.
Oh wow. Okay. So I think your song needs to be in this.
In what? Like
This
the
whole
episode?
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll like let you like be producer, like decide like where you would want it. Like if you want it before you talk, if you want it like in the middle after you like introduce kind of what you did. If it plays before and then you kind of share how it came about after and then talk about what or this owning your own story. But and you don't have to use it, like don't feel like pressure to. But I like when I was listening to it, I was like, wow, this is powerful.
Oh,
Like,
thank you.
because everything you
Um,
share about owning your own story, you owned it.
um,
Yeah. And
um,
it's very inspiring.
you're welcome to even use the recording from today as how as because it came out very, fluidly, and it was like, oh, by the way, like, you know what I mean? And feel free to use like that clip, and I'll definitely free write, elaborate in myself what those mean to me, because I definitely off the cuff don't know why I did it. I was just like, I literally had a dream the night before that I was in front of a mic kind of like this in a studio just doing a rap, and it sounded good. It sounded really good, and I woke up like, oh, that's never gonna happen. And then I had all this inspiration come out of nowhere for the verses and the idea and I found the backtrack, which is Eminem and Ti's it's a song by them. I believe it's called and then she wrote or something like that. Sorry. But like I will properly copyright that it was their backtrack that I found really randomly and in the first try. I didn't
Okay.
have to try to meld it to other backtracks. I did the rap first, found the backtrack, put it together, and it was perfect.
That's
I
awesome.
didn't at
Okay.
much edit other than getting the strings in the beginning, which is from Gangsta's Paradise, Coolio, and you might have recognized it. It's a very, old school, like, hip hop song. And then I just wanted it in there.
Yeah.
I had this idea as well to put it in there, and the stomp stomp clap from We Will Rock You
Okay.
is in there as well. So if you hear the stomp stomp clap and then the Gangsta's Paradise and then it goes into and then she wrote. And yeah, it just melded together. Um I had so much fun doing it. It was like a summer project. I was like, oh, I want to do a music video and I know what I want it to look like and things like
Yeah.
that. So that'll happen maybe one day. I already know, like I have the vision for it. It's just like I need the bunch of people that just want to be a part of it.
Stay tuned, because in part 2 of this series, Abby takes us through an exercise to begin writing our autobiography as a process to own our story and a pathway to loving kindness.